Howdy, partner. To Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. I'm here flying solo today, Dom solo today, and you can tell the sleeves are off. I'm ready to roll. Robert Karpelis is on assignment today. We'll see him on Monday, but we're going to do a little coverage of WWE SmackDown, a little preview of that, and look at the dirt sheets. Take a little look at the dirt sheets. Let's give some shout out to some folks in the chat here. We got Cammy in the house. Happy PI, everybody. Pie, everybody. Oh, it is Pie Day, isn't it? Wow. I was horrible at math, but I sure do like pie. I like pie. My favorite probably, is it too cliche for me to say I like apple pie? I like apple pie the best. I think that's my favorite. I like peach pie too. Chocolate pudding pie is really good. There's a horrific incident when I was younger. My mom made chocolate pudding pie, and it was beautiful. I was very excited, and our dog Winston leapt up and just completely destroyed the pie. Very heartbreaking. Wrestling Old Head says, R&I can't believe it's Friday. Good podcast with Sandman last night. That's right. Yes, if you were there, RVDTV.com. Rob and I went live with Sandman, and holy smokes, one of the best episodes of One of a Kind with RVD we've ever had. Rave reviews already. I'm going to turn it private here pretty quick, so you guys won't be able to catch it until Monday coming up here soon. So if you want to take a look, you better tune in ASAP to RVDTV.com. He's got, like Wrestling Old had just said, Sandman has some amazing stories, and you can't miss it. It's a can't miss episode for sure. We go a good amount of time too, so you get your chock full of content there. Cammy Star says, chocolate pudding pie is the best. Got to have real whipped cream. Go, absolutely. 100%. You definitely do. Oh, Jake caught it. I caught it too myself. A horrific what? Man, what happens around here when I show up late? I know. A horrific chocolate pudding pie incident is what happened. Does cheesecake count? No, it doesn't. I do love cheesecake, though. I love cheesecake, but no, it's not a pie. Not a pie. That's official. All right. There's something else. Oh, March 14th. Also, a big day for me in pro wrestling. Was the day Scott Hall passed away. And 2022, I believe it was March of 2014 to 2022. So 3 years ago. Crazy to think. My all-time favorite. As you can see behind me, I have my first ever wrestling figure. Well, not my first. I did have a Hulk Hogan Hasbro, but Razor Ramon Bone Cruncher. This is the OG one I got in Altoona, PA of all places, at a toy store. And man, big fan of Razor Ramon. I have the Intercontinental Championship replica of his, and I'm not a belt guy, but I wanted to get that. So yeah, if it wasn't for Scott Hall, I would not be doing what I'm doing today. So toothpick out for the Chico himself, the bad guy. I met him several times. I kind of find it cool in a way that I never actually interviewed him. Like, I've just met him as a fan. So I never, ever, got the opportunity to interview him and do, what I do now. And I kind of like that aspect because he is the core to my wrestling fandom. And makes the world go around for me. And whenever I see a Scott Hall clip, whenever I see anything like that, boom, I'm immediately back into the fan mode of it all. So great stuff. All Jake says, literally the first thing I hear, horrific, sounded like Stu Hart or Frank Reynolds was in Dom's apartment looking like some kind of whore. Oh, man. Yep. So Frank saying, whore is comedy gold. I need to check it out. Listen, I lived in Philadelphia for 5 years. I watched the first season of It's Always Sunny, but then I didn't continue it. So there's plenty for me to catch up on when it comes to that. I have, if you ask RVD or if you even ask Kevin Nash, you will know that I am not attuned to current television. There's so much stuff I need to watch still I haven't. I want to watch. It's just me sitting down and committing to the time to do it. I haven't done it. I really haven't done it. Probably since I've been single, I think, for the most part. I just try to stay busy and do stuff. So, but let's stay busy and do stuff today. Oh, I saw that one, Wrestling Old Head. I did see the Roddy Piper one, which is great. He's got like a bucket of chestnuts with him or something like that in his trunk. Charles like, why has he got a bucket of chestnuts in here? Funny stuff. All right. So I did not even look at SmackDown preview. You know how you know you turn 40 is when you start drinking prebiotic soda that's flavored. So 40 is right around the bend for me. But I don't feel 40. I feel like I'm 28, and I probably act like I'm 23. All right, let's take a look here. WWE SmackDown preview. Boom, 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 boom. I'm typing it one finger at a time here. SmackDown preview. And the best one to go for all the SmackDown preview stuff I always find is Fightful. They're pretty succinct in their previews. So let's take a look here. All right. Cody Rhodes appears. Randy Orton and Charlotte Flair to compete. It is hailing from Barcelona, Spain. Ooh, yes, they're overseas right now. Apparently, Kevin Owens might have showed up at like some Spanish wrestling show or something. But anywho, what we have on tap for tonight is the WWE Tag Team Championship. DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa taking on the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Like what they're doing with Street Profits. Great new and not new, but new vibe at least for them coming up. And yes, I think you can really maximize these personas of Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, maybe ultimately pairing them up with Bianca Belair too. I think that's the end game. Hopefully, I think that's the end game with Bianca potentially turning heel here. We'll have Randy Orton in action against Carmelo Hayes. That should be a great one. One to dog here for sure, I think, because Randy Orton's such a seasoned vet, and then you have a young upstart like Carmelo Hayes. Should be pretty cool. Charlotte Flair taking on B-Fab. Interesting. Always good to see Charlotte Flair in action. I'm intrigued by B-Fab. She's got a personality and everything like that, but her wrestling acumen is not what she's known for. So, it'll be interesting to see how much airtime in regards to showcasing her personality they'll give her when it comes to just going up against Charlotte Flair. Then we have the Miz TV with Cody Rhodes. Cool. I like it. Cody Rhodes gave a great promo, I think, on Raw. And yeah, he just feels like a star. He feels like somebody you got to tune in and watch. SmackDown is really his show right now, it feels like. So it'll be cool to see him. And then, hey, Monday, we're going to get John Cena in Belgium. Oh, Nettie. Him and Cody in the same building. So obviously that'll be a little preview to that. Got to be forthright. I did not see SmackDown on Friday. Was I in transit too? No, I was just getting ready. I was getting ready to go to New York City at that point in time. So I didn't get a chance to watch it. And I don't really know too much of the results. I do know like LA Knight, he's the new US champion, stuff like that. So I got to get back acclimated with SmackDown, to be honest. So, but this looks like a good card. Should be interesting builds continuing towards WrestleMania. See what other pieces they decide to put in place here tonight. Let's take a look at some of the chat here. I feel like I'm 28 until the morning after I have a few drinks. Oh my God, it's the same way. I almost don't want to drink half the time, like when I go out. It's just like, I just feel it. I feel it really quickly now. And granted, I don't drink that much, and I've always been a lightweight. But I mean, if I have a beer, I'm like tired. I'm like, I could just kind of go to bed, right? But I do enjoy a good brewski or a cocktail. Big Moscow Mule fan. I like Moscow Mules a lot. Permanis has been doing some good stuff with mules. They've got I think they have like a Kentucky mule, which has been really good. They do like a vanilla cranberry vodka mule, which is great. Man, kind of want to go to Permanis now. What was I going to say about boozing? I can't remember. Anywho, yes, I do like to drink here and there and stuff like that. So let's see. Okay, I still think Cena pulls an ultimate heel move and appears via satellite. Could you imagine that? How funny would that be at Belgium to do that? That would be great, actually. I like your thinking there. Now, I know it's false advertising, though. Vodka choice of a mule? Ooh, 100% Tito's. Conrad Thompson made me learn about Tito's. He would do Tito's and Crystal Light together. and it blew my mind. I was like, this is really good, and this kid's very dangerous. Um, but Tito's is nice because sometimes in the summer too, what I'll do is I'll just drink vodka water, and I'll do Tito's and water, and like it's refreshing, and you don't really get like you get buzzed, but you don't have to worry too much about a hangover. So I do like that. It's a good summer drink too. Uh, Cammy says she still drinks like a college kid. F getting old. Man, I can't do it. I just cannot do it anymore. And I was still a lightweight in college, but and I can handle my liquor for the most part, but it's I definitely feel the after effects if I don't pace myself out. Um, so Alt Jake also says I don't drink very often, but when I do, I'm hungover AF the next day. Tito's is great. Ciroc is also good because it's made using grapes. Interesting. I've never tried Ciroc. Is that the Diddy? The Diddy vodka? Uh-oh. I like whiskey too. I'll Jake. Trying to think what I like. I like old. What is it? Not Old Turkey. Wild Turkey. I like Wild Turkey a lot. Um, Jack Daniels is okay. I like Jameson. Jameson I like a lot. Jameson I like a lot. All right, let's check out the dirt sheets, huh? Talking about boozing and all that stuff. Let's see what's on the docket here. Oh, this is an interesting one. I'm glad I looked. WWE reportedly closing in on Jeff Cobb and Ray Phoenix signings. Look, I think Fightful first broke the news that Jeff Cobb was on tap for WWE. Wow, he's 42. That's crazy. He's 42 years old. He's older than me. Wow, I thought he was a younger guy. Yeah, Fightful was first to report that he's on WWE's talent acquisition shortlist. Adding fuel to speculation, Cobb recently hinted at a potential departure from New Japan, stating in a post-match interview, maybe it's time to take my bags and go somewhere else. Well, looky here. Jeff Cobb is somebody that AEW should have dog-eared and kept around. He was brought in as a mercenary many moons ago, I think to fight Moxley, I think it was. And I just love Jeff Cobb. He's great. He's like Rhino, uh, like a Hawaiian Rhino, and he's really athletic. He, my goodness, he's just got a presence about him, and WWE's going to make the most out of him. I think he's awesome. So I'm all for Jeff Cobb showing up in WWE. Like that's great, and I do think that it's reported that he's already under in the Eternal roster or something like that. I think Fightful also reported. So really cool stuff. Look at his resume. He's got former never openweight champion, 2-time IWGP Tag Team Champion with Great O'Khan, former ROH World Television Champion, former PWG World Champion, 2004 Olympic Games competitor. How about that? Representing Guam. Tour of the Islands finisher is awesome, actually. I always forget about that as being one of the best finishers in wrestling, but it is. Ray Phoenix, WWE signing Lucha Brothers reunion impossible. What could it even be in a bigger acquisition? Ray Phoenix negotiated his release from All Elite Wrestling and is now a free agent. Several reports suggest Phoenix is expected to officially join WWE imminently, with some claiming a deal is already in place. Wow, what's the bigger acquisition? Long term, let's go this way. Like in the immediate, it feels like Ray Phoenix, right? Ray Phoenix is, and he's obviously brothers with Penta, Lucha Brothers. So is that the biggest acquisition? Or I just think age might be the issue here when it comes to Ray, or not when it comes to Jeff. But I think there's some cool potential for Jeff Cobb in WWE. I just like his work a lot. So I guess if I was to take my affections out of it, I would say Ray Phoenix probably is the bigger acquisition, whether that be short term or long term. Because if you can make him singles, you can make the Lucha Brothers a force to be reckoned with in the tag team division and make the most out of them. You can sell a lot of merch. So, but I do love Jeff Cobb. I don't know. You never know. You never know in this wild world of wrestling, do we? So, very cool. Let's see what else we got to talk about here. I'm literally just scrolling through the dirt sheets right now. What is this about? WWE's original post-WrestleMania 41 plans for Drew McIntyre revealed. Do I want to read this? I don't want to read this. No. Let's see what this has to say, though. Drew McIntyre says he's unhappy with his WrestleMania trajectory. I'm pissed. McIntyre, okay. TikToker Adam Glynn recently caught up with Drew McIntyre for a quick interview when asked about his WrestleMania plans. The former world champion noted that he is pissed about not being involved in the world title picture after his highly praised feud with Punk. McIntyre, however, promised that he will find a story which people get invested in. It sucks because I'm not in a world title match at WrestleMania. I know in 2024 I had people talking about myself and CM Punk more than anybody. I did 90% of that work. Good for Punk being Punk. Drew McIntyre did the effing heavy lifting there. So I'm pissed off, to be frank. I'm not in a world title match, but I'm not going to make something. But I'm not going to make something happen. But I'm going to make something happen. And between now and WrestleMania, I'll make sure there's a big match. I'll make sure there's a story that people are invested in, and I'll make sure the match is effing awesome because I'm Drew McIntyre. That's the way you handle pro wrestling, folks. Drew McIntyre is great. Like, yeah, I think it's kind of like a bit of a bummer that McIntyre is not in some sort of title picture or a big program. But a lot of moving parts. And I just think he's such a talent that you can always heat him back up and make him feel like a big deal. And he does that on his own volition too. Like him pairing up with Priest, I think should still be a fun show and still be nothing's confirmed when it comes to that, but I think that should still be a fun little program that Drew will make the most out of, and in all likelihood help elevate Damian Priest. So he'll do his job, and he's good at what he does. I really think Drew McIntyre is like top 3 person in the business right now, if that. You could you could make an argument for him being the best person in the business. Well, like just from a wrestling standpoint, I mean, like the entire total package of things, because he's great personality, he's good in the ring, he's got a great look. There was a reason he was the chosen one way back when. So I just like Drew McIntyre's work. He's great on social media, makes the most out of it. Really, man. If anybody saw what he did on socials yesterday, it was like, I think LA Knight did something. I can't remember. But then Drew McIntyre retweeted, and it had just a lady with a bag of chips on her head, and it's a meme of like, oh, my girlfriend, I love her. She's so crazy. Like, yeah, okay. That's some funny shit. Funny stuff. But yeah, I like what Drew McIntyre is laying down, and I think he will make anything he does heading into WrestleMania very interesting. So all for the Drew McIntyre and what he can bring to WWE. Let's take a look. We got some ad reads here. Little ad reads. Ad copy. We are going to talk a little bit about something I'm really hungry for right now, and that is Factor. Ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating, well, easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes, so you can just fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. And man, do I have a busy lifestyle. I'm always on the go, moving around, going to the gym, doing writing out in different places. So it's like last thing I sometimes feel like doing is getting a whole meal together and cooking it up and putting all the legwork into having something. And I got my options with Factor. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick up meals tailored to your goals. Choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. Factor can help you fuel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. So you listeners, dear listeners, you can eat fresh with Factor right now. Eat smart with Factor, actually, and get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code factorpodcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Do it to it. Man, I am hungry for Factor. I want to get it really bad. Really, really bad. So shout out to Factor. Thank you so much. Another great sponsor we have is Innnuendo. And you know what? With the weather turning as it is, It's really nice here in Pittsburgh, hence the sleeves off. I got to make sure I smell good. And there is no better smell than Mount Fuji. Mando's Mount Fuji. My goodness. I'm almost out of my stick, and I'm like really bummed. Like, it's like that's my go-to deodorant. I still have some of the body spray, which you can use all over, and I do. If I'm in a pinch and I know I'm going out, or I just get out of the gym and I know I still got to smell good, I spray that baby down all over the place. It's created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was misdiagnosed and mistreated, clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. All products baking soda free and paraben free. Choose a variety from a variety of scents like bourbon leather, clover woods, Mount Fuji, which is my favorite, or Pro Sport. So Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code RUMOR at shopmando.com, SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them that Rumor and Innuendo sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. That's a shoot, too. Like, I am super bummed. My Mount Fuji deodorant stick is almost gone. Like, man, I like it. It's a great scent. I feel like an adult. I feel like I'm 40 in a good way. Let's see. Take a look at what people are saying. Oh, yes, I like what Trey Owens is saying here. Have Phoenix debut at Mania. I'm with you on that. Wait it out. Wait it out. Make him be a surprise. Yeah, I think that's a good too. Yeah, Wrestling Old Head says the roster is so stacked at the top of the card, but hopefully they'll have something for Drew in the title picture once Jay wins. Yeah, I almost want him to be no, I guess I'll take that. Maybe he could be the follow-up feud for Cody. Does Cena win the title at Mania? I mean, there'll be plenty of time to talk about that, but depends on what you do with Cody maybe after the fact. I wouldn't want him just served up on a platter as fodder for Cody Rhodes or somebody. I would like to see him kind of like further a big feud and get something cooking going because, yeah, I don't know. If Cena wins the title, it's obviously they're both heels. So it's like, how do you make Drew go after Cena? Unless you really feel confident about making Drew turn heel, which I don't think is not necessarily a bad thing. You could have it. You could make it work in some form or fashion. If you turn him face, he's just such a good heel, right? I'm a man. I'm 40. Come after me. Gosh, Mike Gundy, his coach, Oklahoma State. All right. Let's see what else we want to talk about here. Take a gander at the dirt sheets. Anything else on tap this weekend wrestling wise? I don't think so. I don't think there's a whole lot else going on, which is kind of nice. Oh, I should promote if you are in the Pittsburgh area. Bruno Forever. I just interviewed Sam Adonis on OneTrueSportTV.com, and he is putting on a Bruno Sammartino tribute show, which is the first tribute show of its kind for Bruno. And on top of it, the family is associated. They are part of it, the Sammartino family. So there'll be Daryl Sammartino will be on hand for it. Stan Hansen will be in the house. Bill Apter, Corey Graves will be there. So I'm going to make my way to Ross Township tomorrow to cover the event, and should be a fun thing going on there. There's some matches on tap too with a battle royal and a Bruno Sammartino championship on the line that will be defended in the Pittsburgh area. So how about that? Hey, this is down the line here, but WWE Backlash was announced for May 10th. John Cena is set to appear, and it's going to St. Louis, home of the St. Louis Cardinals. Home Harley Race. Notorious for being there. So, yeah, should be a good follow-up for WrestleMania coming up here. And Backlash is always like, it's a good show, right? It is a good show. It's just like, oh, man. It always just feels to come so soon after WrestleMania. I'd like wait a while. Are they waiting a while? Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just not thinking. No, it's less than a month away after WrestleMania. I just feel like they could wait like June. Wait till June to have another pay-per-view. Like have everybody just kind of recalibrate. But I guess you got to keep the momentum going when it comes to like, hey, got to make things feel like a big deal and stuff like that. Oh, TNA's got a pay-per-view. Yeah, they got. Don't they have Sacrifice on the line? Wow, Moose versus Jeff Hardy. Wow, is that true? Geez, I gotta take a look here. TNA Sacrifice. Let's preview a little bit of Sacrifice, huh? Let's take a look. I know they just changed their whatchamacallit, their pricing levels for TNA Plus, which is good. Seems like they're getting traction on that too, so good for them, you know? Yeah, it is March 14th. TNA Sacrifice. Let's take a look at the card here. Yeah, Moose versus Jeff Hardy ladder match too for the TNA X Division Championship. That's pretty cool. Dang. Wow. We got Monster Slamovich versus Cora Jade. Oh, that should be good. Man, we got Joe Henry, Matt Hardy, Elijah, Leon Slater, and Nick Nemeth taking on the System, which is Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and JDC, and the Clones, which is Eddie Colon and Orlando Colon. How about that? Then we got Mance Warner. I love Mance Warner. Mance Warner is awesome. And Sammy Callahan. Tessa Blanchard going up against Lei Ying Lee in a singles match. Cool. And we got Mustafa Ali versus Santana, which is been a good feud too, from what I've heard. So neat stuff on card for that. Frankie Kazarian taking on Steve Macklin too, if I didn't say that one. So nice, good stuff there. Could Rusev show up? Ooh, where will Rusev show up? Will Rusev show up in WWE? Will he show up in TNA? Who knows? But cool. We'll have to recap a little bit of SmackDown once Monday rolls back around. We'll definitely preview Raw, and we will talk about any ongoings that happen. I'll give my chat about my Bruno Forever experience too, which should be pretty neat. Also, what should be neat is later today, hopefully, I'm putting the finishing touches on a feature piece for SEScoops.com, where I give a full review of Glengarry Glen Ross on Broadway and the revival starring Kieran Culkin, Bob Odenkirk, and Bill Burr, two of which are wrestling fans, and Kieran Culkin and Bill Burr. And I tie it in to what pro wrestling can learn from a show like that. So fun feature piece. I just putting the finishing touches on it. Once I get that all formatted and submitted, hopefully it might be up today. So be on the lookout for that at SEScoops.com. Also, if you haven't yet, be on the lookout for your podcast feed, because a new Working Stiff is up with Scott and Robert as they discuss AEW Dynamite. They chat about Raw a little bit, and Scott being on the road as a comedian. So a really, really fun episode, chock full of good stuff there. I think it goes about an hour and a half, so should be a lot of fun. Yeah, download it, give it 5 stars, whatever you listen to, whether it's on Apple or on Spotify. Same goes with RVDTV.com. Yeah, hit subscribe, share, like, check out that interview, or Hack as our special guest, Sam Ann. Great stuff. You will really, really like that interview, that episode. Seriously, one of the best we've done. It is going to go away shortly, and then it'll be back on Monday, because I got to do the editing and stuff like that. I just have to turn the video private. So if you can tune in while you can, because I'm about to make it. If you want it set for the weekend, that's the only chance you might get. You can also check it out though on RVD's YouTube channel as well. But RVDTV.com, sign up for it now, and like, share, subscribe, help get the word out about that. Magnum TA and Greg Gagne, we're going next week, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, FullHorsemanNetwork.com. Originally was planning to do it recording today, but I actually have an appointment and I can't miss it, so I can't do the show. So Tuesday, we'll be back, Greg and Magnum, so be sure to check that out. But you can check us out, Rumor and Innuendo, every Monday through Friday at noon on a plethora of platforms, including Dominic D'Angelo X account, the Rumor and Innuendo X account. No, I'm lying about that. The Rumor and Innuendo YouTube, the WWE Creative _ish X account, the SE Scoops X account, and on Working Stiff YouTube, and on Ad Free Shows YouTube. So, behalf on my absentee partner, Robert Karpolis, best of luck in your future endeavors. And hey, Bruno is Uno.